So I'm going to explain you with an example that you can understand it better. For example, you have an application which is running on your EC2 instance, okay? But you want to know what is the matrices, like in the sense like what you want, in the sense like you want to know your CPU utilization, you want to know about your memory, how much memory is being used. You want to know how much storage it took, and you want to know your how much GPU it has taken, and how much RAM it has taken. So you want to know all of this when your application is running on the EC2 instance. So how would you know it? So this is where the CloudWatch comes into the picture. So now I'll be explaining you what is exactly CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is a service that monitors your AWS resources and your application. So what it does is that it collects your data, col- it collects data from your from the service that you're running. It shows the data in the form of graph and logs. It it also alerts when your application goes into disaster. Like if there's something wrong with your EH2 instance or your application or your services, so it can alert you. So, and it also helps you to automate actions like scaling or recovering. For example, let's say it this way, okay? Let's consider this example. For example, your application is running on a EC2 instance, okay? And your CPU utilization is very less. Let's say less is 30%, okay? So what is CloudWatch does it that since your CPU utilization is very less, so it can add more load for you so that your CPU utilization can increase up to 40%. And if your CPU utilization reaches up to 80%, so what the CloudWatch does is that it's gonna reduce the load so that your CPU utilization would decreases up to like 20% or 10%. So basically, it helps you to automate actions like scaling or recovery. So in short, CloudWatch helps you to see, understand, and respond to what is happening in AWS services. So why is CloudWatch so important? So because when your application is running in AWS, you cannot see the servers physically. The problem can happen anytime. The performance can go up and down. So basically, CloudWatch tells you that is your system healthy? It also tells you is your service slow or fast? It's going to show you is your service overloaded? It's going to tell you that too. And it's going to tell you is has error ever happened in your application which you are running on the services. So CloudWatch tells you all of that. That's why it is very important if you're running an application on any of the AWS services. So it is mandatory though. So so coming to the main component of CloudWatch, it has four components. So first is matrices or the matrix. Okay, matrices. Second one is logs. Third one is alarm. And fourth one is dashboard. So coming to matrices, so matrices are nothing but numbers that shows performance over time. For example, for example, it's going to show like CPU usage up to 40%. So this is nothing but matrices. And also it can show like memory use 4 GB request per second. 500 or let's say 1,000, and the number of errors too. So this is what matrix it does. For example, CloudWatch automatically collects CPU utilization, network in, network out. So the matrix is basically tells you how well is my resources working. So now coming to the second component, which is log. Logs. Logs are nothing but a text because of an event. So basically, it's gonna keep track of your activity that you're doing in any of the AWS services. For example, it's gonna keep track like this when you're starting a server, when you're logging into your servers, and if there's like error that shows like, for example, your database is not responding. So log can help you to understand how to debug those problems, how to find the errors, and how to understand the behavior of your application. So this is what log does. Now coming to the third component, which is alarm. So in alarm, basically, let's say your EC2 is running, or your application, your EC2 is running, and if your CPU utilization reaches up to 70% for 5 minutes, then the alarm gets triggered. And once the alarm gets triggered, it's going to send you an alert or notification to you. It can be done by using SNS. It can be done by triggering Lambda, and it can also take action. Like if, for example, like if your CPU utilization reaches up to 70%, it can automatically or immediately stop your EC2 from running. It can also you can also choose in that way, like if it reaches up to 70% or like 80%, or any amount of CPU utilization, you can choose your EC to be stop running. You can choose it to terminate. You can choose it to restart. So in the demo video, I will be showing how. So I will be showing like if my CPU utilization reaches up to 70%, so Cloud Alarm is gonna terminate my EC2 instant immediately after 5 minutes. So now coming to the uh, next component, which is dashboard. Dashboard shows you everything in one place. So it contains, dashboard contains graphs, numbers, and alarm status. So it gives a quick health view of your system. So how does CloudWatch works actually? So basically, what it does is going to collect the data from AWS resources like EC2, RDS, Lambda, collects data, and once it collects the data, then you can view the matrices and logs, and then if certain event happens, it's going to trigger the alarm. So alarm notifies or acts if needed. So yeah, this is the workflow of CloudWatch, and now I'm going to show you the demo of CloudWatch and Cloud Alarm. So before going to the demo, I'm going to explain you what is CloudTrail and what's the difference between CloudWatch and CloudTrail. Okay, so what is CloudTrail? So CloudTrail help records all of your activities in your AWS account. So that's just basically what CloudTrail does. So for example, it keeps tracks of someone who is making a request, someone uh so it also keep tracks of what are the actions that are being performed in your AWS account and what is happening in your services, and it also tracks the IP address and also tracks which resources are being affected. So CrowdTrail is mainly used for security purposes, auditing, and compliance. So I can give you one example for you to understand CloudTrail better. So if someone starts an EC2, deletes S3, changes the security group, or creates an IAM user, so CloudWatch logs them all. So now I'm going to explain you the difference between CloudWatch and CloudTrail. So, the main purpose of CloudWatch is monitoring, and the main purpose of CloudTrail is auditing. And CloudTrail records all the API activities and user actions for auditing and security, where the CloudWatch monitors resources, performance, and triggers alarm. So the main difference that you need to understand is that CloudWatch monitors system health, while CloudTrail tracks user and API action. Everyone, and now we are gonna explore the CloudWatch. It's like we're gonna see the CPU utilization of the EC2 instance, which I've already created. So and then we're gonna create a cloud alarm. Basically, what are we gonna do is that if my CPU utilization reaches up to 70%, it's gonna send a notification to my email through SNS that my CPU utilization of my instance has reached up to 70%. And once it reaches up to 70%, what does the cloud alarm does is that it's gonna immediately terminate my EQC instance once it reached up to 70%. And now I'm going to show you how we do that. So here I've already created my EQC instance. You can also create it. And now I'm just going to go to I'm going to go for cloud first, so you can go there. So Yeah, so we are going to navigate all the way to matrices. And this is nothing but a namespace. It's like a container. And inside the container, you can see all the matrices. So we're going to go to EC2 and make sure that your region should be based on the region that you're using. So I'm using US East over here, US East 2. Okay. And just click on pre-instant matrices, or also you can just choose your EC2 instance. So okay, so I'm gonna go here. So this is my Eastern ID. I'm just gonna paste here. So as you see, these are the metrics name. So I'm gonna click here. So you can see the graph here of my CPU utilization. I'm just gonna make it bigger. Yeah, and if you if you so you can see to data table here. As you see, as you see, my CPU utilization at the minimum is 0.54 and at the maximum is 1.31. So you can see the sum, average, the time, everything, and you can see through stack area. You can see through numbers, which is my CPU utilization is 0.54, and you can see to you can see to this one, and you can see to bar, you can see to pi. So yeah, so it's different way you can see your progress, or see your matrices. Yeah, so you can even add this to your dashboard. So you can create a new one. You can choose line bar. So I will choose line here. So this is the dashboard here. It is showing in this way. Mhm. And now, I'm going to go to CloudWatch Alarm. So I'm going to go in all the alarm here. So now I'm going to create my the alarm here. You can just click here. You can select metrics. So basically just I'm gonna go to EC2 instance. So I can just search it to my ID here. So I'm gonna choose CPU utilization here. So I'm gonna select this one. So the period is that I can set to 5 minutes. and I'm going to set greater than equal to 70 here. So I'm going to go next. So I'm going to create, so okay, so I'm going to create a new topic here. So I'm just going to go there. So you need to go to SNS here, and then you have to go and create a topic. So, so the topic name is going to be, so I'm just going to create a topic here. And now I'm going to create a subscription here. So email here, and I'm going to give my email address here. So okay, so I'm going to go to my Gmail. So I'm going to confirm the subscription. Okay, it is already done. So just refresh it. Okay, this data is confirmed. So let's go back to in creating the alarm. So I'm going to select here. Okay, so it takes, so let me refresh this once again. Okay, now it have registered now. So I'm going to group this one. And okay, now go to each instance. So I'm going to choose to terminate this instance. And system management. Okay, I think this is good enough. Let's check the system. Okay, not required. So I'm going to click next. So alarm name I'm going to give again. So I'm going to go to next. So this is the preview of what we have done. Okay, now I'm going to create an alarm. Okay, so just replace it here. Okay, just let me delete this one. So the reason why it's showing insufficient data is because I just created this instant recently, so it's gonna take time to show the status. So the status is now okay. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make my I'm gonna make my EC2 instance. Uh, I'm gonna make the CPU utilization of my EC2 instance up to 70%. So here's how I'm gonna do that. So let's go. So so first you gotta install the stress tool here. So this is getting installed. And now I'm gonna run the CPU stress. Now the now the CPU utilization will jump up to 80 to 100%. So now so every 5 minutes we have to wait. We have to wait for the status. So so it's gonna notify us every 5 minutes. So I'm gonna pause this video and let's see what happens after 5 minutes. So guys, as you see, now my status is in alarm. So the reason why I chose 5 minutes is because the basic monetization is free, whereas the advanced monetization, in the sense that you can choose any minutes that you want to check your CPU utilization. So it's gonna cost a lot. So that's why I chose the basic monetization. So as you see, the status here is in alarm. So it just sent the notification in my mail. So basically, uh, what happened was that the cloud alarm is gonna give you update of your CPU utilization in every 5 minutes. So this is what is happening here. And and if I go to my EC2 instance here, if I go to dashboard, so as you see, it has now terminated. So this EC2 instance which is which I've created is now terminated as soon as my CPU utilization had reached up to 70%. So this is how this is a demo of Cloud CloudWatch Alarm and how does it happen. So I hope you enjoy watching this video. Please do subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you very much.